Well, I guess when we're looking at like, someone that's a good fit for the trades, right? Because I think everybody should have that experience. And I think everybody should do something, but there's some people that should do it as a career and some that shouldn't. And I guess when we're looking at the traits of that person, I know like interestingly enough, whenever I call the plumbing company and I call to get something handled on a certain side of my house where all my heating vents are, I'm like, please send the skinny plumber because he's the only one that can get underneath everything to get to the plumbing on that side of the
You
house.
bet.
But I guess other than being, like when we're looking other than physical traits, what are kind of the actual like characteristics and like, let's say mental traits of somebody that's going to be a really good fit for trades?
Well, it's funny because those same plumbing companies you called have called me and says, Jeremy uses you as a reference. If they're as big as Roger, don't send them out. Okay. So,
it's wild though, man. Like our HVAC vents are all like a foot and a half from the ground on the one side of my house because my house is like 110 years old. Yep. And I'm like, listen, if this plumber is more than a size 30 waist, he is not getting to the pipes on that side of the house. But anyway.
I love it. Yeah. And I'm a 34, so I'm not fitting. I'm going to throw that out right now. You look at the traits though. And one thing that I like to do, I like to ask people in the beginning, what do you like? Me, I don't like electricity. I don't like getting shocked. I would have not been a good electrician, or I'd have been the safest electrician in the world. Like, look, I'm never going to get touched by electricity no matter what. The traits that I look for are they mechanically inclined? Jeremy, when I was young, my father had me help him work on the cars. If he was changing the brakes, the starter, the alternator, the fuel pump, it didn't matter. It was like, Raj, come on, grab your shoes, let's go.
My dad did the exact same thing, and that was before everything became like computerized in the mid 90s. So like I learned everything the old way.
Yes. But people that are good at that, it makes sense that, look, you like working with your hands or you're good at it. You may do well in the trades and not have to go to college. But then if they do like working on stuff, I always ask them, do you like building things or do you like fixing things? And that's really big because if you like building things, getting into construction is amazing. New construction, whether it's commercial or residential. And I go more in depth asking people questions to figure out right where they'll fit. But if you like fixing things, what a great job for a service plumber. One that walks in and, wait, your toilet's broken. It's running. Oh, I can take it apart. I can put it back together. I can fix it. It's a completely different mindset. So the analytical part is just huge. And people ask me all the time, am I too big to get in the trades? Am I too old to get in the trades? Not necessarily. Just you may run into a 110-year-old home that you're not going to be able to crawl around under. And you need a skinny apprentice or something like that.
I guess when looking at it, I think one of the things we don't really consider, like trades are one of those things that I don't think a lot of people think of until they really need them, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we look at it, there's a lot of things in society that without the trades wouldn't function, right? Like, you look at the bubonic plague. And one of the biggest reasons that happened is because we had terrible sanitation, right? We didn't have good plumbing and things like that. So I guess when you look at it, how important are the trades to society, the fabric of society, really?
Well, you talked about the bubonic plague. What about the Chicago World Fair where people were dying from using the pump getting water? It had disease on the pump and they're all spreading it and cross connections and just a ton of different things. Here's what's going to happen. And look, I have a BHAG. My BHAG is to help 1.5 million people get into
What does that mean? What is a BHAG?
Big, hairy, audacious goal.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to use that now.
BHAG. Huge. I love it. But my goal is to help 1.5 million people get in the trades. 750,000 people become better tradesmen. Most tradesmen, we get in the trade to become a plumber. Once we become a plumber, we stop learning. And Jeremy, everybody that I talk to goes through that. They're like, well, yeah, man, I'm a licensed electrician now. Just let me go be an electrician. There's so much more to learn to get into the better paying jobs, foreman, superintendent, director of operations, all kinds of things. But then help 500,000 of these people start their own businesses, and then help 250,000 learn to use networking and social media and Google and things like that to really grow their businesses. That's helping 3 million people get into and move up in the trades. Why is that important? If somebody doesn't address this quick and start working on it, 5 or 10 years from now, there's not going to be enough plumbers. The people that do know plumbing are going to be retired and gone. So we're going to revert back to where, look, anybody can do plumbing. Just let them come work on it. Hope they do it safe, because we don't want to bring the bubonic plague back.
Yes.
We don't want to bring scarlet fever back and all these other diseases that plumbers do protect the health of the nation. They talk about it all the time. And to the average customer, it's like, oh man, that's just a great thing to say. But when you talk to doctors, they're like, look, plumbers save more lives every day than doctors by doing things right.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, it is really that big and it's that true.